Hello again, my precious tuberinos. Thank you so much for joining me on another fun, hair-raising episode of recovery crafting. I really appreciate you joining me again. Today we are going to be playing with some glass. Not in a dangerous way. The only dangerous thing I might hurt myself with today would be the glue gun. But stick around and I'm going to show you how to take some aquarium glass and some regular glassware that I got from the dollar store and turn it into a fun and colorful house decoration. You can use them for tea lights or a candy dish or a trinket dish, so stick around and we'll get to it. Alright, first things first, we're going to start off in the kitchen. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our glass aquarium beads, we're going to take them out of the bags, and we're going to put them in this bowl over here, this guy, with some soap and water, and we're going to wash them off. We're also going to remove the sticker from the bottom of the glass piece that we're choosing to decorate, and we're going to wash this with soap and water as well. I've actually made several of these in the past where the glass beads have started to fall off after a bit of time. I was taking care to not touch the bottoms of them, but I think that there are some residue, I was trying really carefully not to touch the bottoms of them before I glued them on so that I didn't get any oils from my hands on them, but I think that they already come with some with a little bit of a residue on them anyway, and the hot glue was sticking to the glassware perfectly fine because I was washing that, but the beads themselves would actually fall off. So first we're going to take all these out, put them in here with soap and water, swish them around a little bit, wash them off, and then we're going to take the beads out and we're going to put them on this towel to dry them off. And so let me go get started on that and I'll be right back with you. All right, so now I've gone through and I've washed off all of my aquarium glass with soap and water, and then I made sure to rinse them in the sink before I put them on the towel so that we have no soap residue on there. And I removed the sticker from the bottom of this, cleaned that off, and washed this out with soap and water. While I was doing that, I had my hot glue gun warming up and getting ready for us. Now you can go through these and you'll notice that sometimes you'll get them, they are glass, they're pretty hardy, but I have found ones that have broken every now and again when I go through them, so you can just take those and get rid of them. I don't like to use them because they do leave sharp edges. I mean, sometimes they would fit perfectly if I were doing a mosaic style piece. They might work, but unless you want to get into sanding down glass and polishing edges so that nobody gets hurt when they pick these up, I would just suggest getting rid of them. And you will find that you can do a whole lot of different patterns with the colors. They have all different colors. Right here I just have some blues, greens, and black. Sometimes they come in mixed bags. I also have red, I have clear, and like I said, these I got from the dollar store. You can find a whole bunch of different colors at craft stores, Michael's, Joann's, things like that. But anyway, your local craft store should have them and have them in a multitude of different colors. So I just like to get these from the dollar store because, again, I'm cheap and that's my thing. So what we're going to do, and I hope I don't go off camera here, but we are going to just play around with some of the colors. And we're literally just going to hot glue them right onto the glass. This piece has rounded edges here, so we might try squaring this out. So only putting glue on, well, maybe we can go down the edges too. But let me just figure out where I want to start. Hopefully this is hot enough. Beautiful. Now the one thing about this is once they are on there, they are on there. I am going to say that. And a little goes a long way when it comes to the hot glue. Oh, I got it on me. So I'm actually just sticking with the blue ones right now because I am going to make a flower. Some of the other pieces that I said I've done with these in the past, I've actually done patterns with the different colors. And I actually just go through and do like a full coverage on the entire glass piece. I've done large vases and I've done some candy dishes. Like I said, I've had issues in the past with the beads falling off, and that's why I got smart and started washing everything. I started washing the beads too. I had been washing the glass pieces, but I hadn't been washing the beads. So you're just going to kind of let your creativity run wild on this. Get all those little extra pieces off, all the hot glue hairs. And see, quick and easy, just like that, we've got a flower. Which will show up really pretty if you decide to put them like in a window when the sun shines through them. I had said tea lights in the intro, and then I thought about it afterwards. I'm not sure how the tea light in here, how the heat would affect the hot glue. And I wasn't even thinking about it when I said it because it sounded like a great idea. But you can get the LED tea lights too. And just another mention is that my glue sticks, I did get at the dollar store as well. These are the mini glue sticks, which are perfect for my mini glue gun. And I'm going to keep working on this, and I will come back and show you what I have created in the end. All right, so I have had some fun playing around. Some of it was a success and some of it was not, but that's okay. So let me show you what I did so far. So we've got that flower that we started off with. I originally had just put green here, here, and here to look like leaves, and then it ended up just looking like a big crooked triangle. So I decided to add in the rest of the green on that side. And this was a side I had a plan, and the plan didn't work out. And like I've said before, that's okay. It is what it is. And again, because I've only paid $1 for the glass piece and I only used a few of the beads, I'm not mad about it. Mistakes happen, and I've learned that I shouldn't do that pattern again. So I've learned from experience. Then this side came out, and I was just deciding to do polka dots, and then I was like, oh my goodness, it looks like a dice. So I thought that'd be pretty cool to do that on each side, make it look like a 6-sided die. And then the last side was just this pretty basic checkerboard pattern with just the blue and the green, which I think actually came out really pretty. So if you wanted to do a whole piece like this, or like I said, the die, or the flowers, or just an abstract pattern, as they happen to be. Couple of tips on these. You'll see that on this side, if you can see here, that the glass beads actually went up above the rim of the glass holder, which is perfectly fine. You do want to be cautious that you don't do that on the bottom, or if you are going to do it on the bottom, that they all overhang the same amount, because if not, then you're going to have a piece that's crooked and wobbly. The other thing that you want to that I want to mention is that, like I said, with the hot glue, when these things start to stick down, they stick. So sometimes it's not a bad idea to go through and kind of plot out a pattern before you, if you're one of those people who likes to plan things out and you don't like that sort of artistic chaos, which is totally fine. Then you can take all the beads and lay them out on a piece of paper or something like that first so that you have your pattern in mind and you already know what you're going to do. So that way you're not just going helter-skelter and having things like this happen. Also, another thing to note, and I know I'm sure you guys can kind of tell, and it might be hard to see. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus on them. Probably not. Well, what I'm trying to point out is that these beads are not perfectly, let's try with the black one. These beads are not perfectly circular. They can be oblong. The shapes of them vary, which is another big thing when you're trying to do a pattern mosaic wise. Sometimes it doesn't work out because beads are bigger or smaller, or they're not quite as round as you need them to be, or they're not as oval as you need them to be. So that is another thing to pay attention to, that these are all of varying shapes and sizes. When I first started out, I was doing 3 color patterns, and I would find out that I would get to the seam at I would try to do a full wrap, and I'd get to the seam in the back and there were no beads that fit inside that seam, or the lines wouldn't match up properly. And I just had to let that go and understand that there is a back of the piece. That's kind of what I started saying to myself. This is the back of the piece and you're not going to see it because I'm going to put it up against the wall. So again, super easy, super cheap. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm going to real quick show you a couple of the first pieces that I did so that you can see what I mean about the beads falling off. So hold tight and I'm going to show you some of the original pieces I did and what I did with them. Hi guys. Yes, we are in my bathroom right now because one of the first ever pieces that I made, I actually have in my bathroom. And that is this piece right up here. So it was just a tall glass vase, and as you can see, if I can point it out, right there is a place where one of the beads had fallen off. There are a couple of others around it where the beads had fallen off. But again, and it is kind of a scary thing. That's kind of a scary thing when you're in here brushing your teeth or something and all of a sudden something just falls and you can't figure out what it is nor find the bead. It's kind of funny. It's happened and I've wandered around wondering what the hell broke. But anyway, so those are actually flowers from the dollar store that I put in there, and that's just a cute little display that I had, and because my bathroom are those colors, so that's what I chose. Hold on one second, I'll show you one more piece. All right, and now we are actually in my bedroom. This piece was actually out in the living room, this super dusty piece. Ugh, sorry about that, guys. This piece was originally out in my living room, but when we moved everything around to put up the Christmas tree and stuff, it got brought into the bedroom and has not yet been moved back, even though my Christmas tree is down. So I do have to say that. I have accomplished something. So again, super dusty. Let me see if I can find... Okay, so you can see right here that there is no, that there was no glue. Sorry about that. That there was no glue on these parts right here. This was one of the seams. So you can see that I had this kind of pattern going with the white or the clear green and blue stripes. And you will notice that a bunch of beads have fallen off of this one. This was actually the first piece that I ever did. And I made one of these actually as a Valentine's Day a Valentine's Day present for one of my coworkers. And I want to apologize to her because she's never told me that the beads have fallen off, but I guarantee that they have fallen off, and I need to remember to ask her about that. But it was a work in progress. It was something I had tried. She liked them and she wanted one, so I made her one, and I have now perfected my technique and should probably make her another one. But yeah, so let's see. I think that's about it. Again, this one was used as a candy dish. So let me just get back into the living room and I will set up and we will just close out this video. All right, so that was today's recovery craft. I hope you had a lot of fun with it and I hope you get to experiment with it. like I said, the good, the bad, or the ugly, sometimes things don't always work out the way that we expect them to. And that's when we have to, as my fiance likes to say, adapt and overcome. You find a way to change your attitude about the situation, and then you can find a way to surmount it. If you let yourself wallow in that negative place where you think that because you made a mistake, nothing's ever going to go right, or because something goes wrong, that's just going to be the way life is. And that's not always the case. There are lots of things that we can do to help change our situation if we only take a step back and maybe look at it with a different view. And hopefully these will give you a different view about things too. With when the sunlight shines through them, they're super pretty and they're really nice to look at, and you can use them, like I said, for a whole bunch of different things. And it's nice to give a gift. The act of giving, which I am giving to you. I like to share my knowledge and my experience in recovery with you and show you how to share that love and that positivity and that hope with others. So I really, really hope that you've enjoyed this lesson. I would love to see what you guys make out of this. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, or ideas, please leave them down below and I will do my best to respond to everybody. But I love you all and I hope you have an amazing weekend. Thank you so much for hanging out with me.